Ladies and gentlemen, I am Yuzral, the game is Star Trek Online, and welcome to the Tribble Timewarp. It is the 22nd of June 2016, and like all episodes of the Timewarp of late, this one comes with a spoiler warning. We're going to be looking at content from Agents of Yesterday, the upcoming expansion pack, so if you don't want any of that spoiled for you, then, well, now would be a pretty good moment to stop watching this video and go enjoy something else. And now that they're gone, let's have us some fun. Today's episode is focusing on the third of the Yesterday's War missions, Vorgon Conclusions. And our old friend Cal Dano, or Cal Dano, depends which version of the script you're reading, is in a little bit of trouble. Well, he will be in a little bit of trouble. Was in a little bit of trouble. There. Hand me the whiskey.
There's been a temporal disturbance in the 27th century. It's happening in the Lurs system. Vorgon mercenaries are targeting a scientist named Cal Dano. This is big. We must keep Dano and his research out of Vorgon hands. I've transmitted the temporal coordinates. Meet me there.
So yeah, we're back with the whole Tox Utat plotline, and strictly speaking, this is the episode that kicks it all off, despite coming fairly late on in the arc if you've been playing from the start. Although if you're playing the missions in sequence once Agents of Yesterday hits, I think it actually comes after before the wibbly wobbly timey wimey, what can I say. Anyhow, a couple of interesting items. First off, the dielectric oscillation personal shield. Dielectric oscillation and cold resist. Spoilers, that's all I'm going to say. You'll find out later on. And of course a Vorgon prism, a nod back to the weapon that they used in the Next Gen episode where we first encountered the Tox Utat. Let's just get this mission going. So, first stop is the Lurs system to the future. Easier just to transwarp, honestly. And off we go. Interestingly, we got the little temporal warp effect there, which is a nice touch. However, we have Lursa Prime, a ringed Class H world, life more than 3 million years ago, and, well, there may have been life, but they've never found any sign of organised societies or settlements. Well, that's gonna change, boys and girls. That's gonna change. Let's begin the mission.
Time shift complete. Permission to come aboard?
Granted. Also, I'm assuming it shrinks to fit my shuttle bay. Daniels is docked in Shuttle Bay 1. Lursa Prime is now a colonised planet in a transitional state, so the terraforming's working. Would he mind joining us on the bridge?
Cal Dano is stationed here at a Daystrom Institute research facility. The Vorgons may already have what they came for. Bring us into scanning range. We need to find out.
Yay, let's hope we're in time. Daniels, you're not looking too hot, mate. Let's go. All ahead. Out the shields and dump from impulse because they're going to be happy people. Scans the Vorgon ship. And preliminary scans are clear, so they haven't found them yet, and they're at a yellow alert status, so they're clearly expecting a fight. Let me know if anything changes.
Likely the Vorgons are at Cal Dano's research facility trying to get what they want. I'll need to beam down and secure the Tox Utat alone. We need to avoid a paradox and ensure that Cal Dano meets you at the proper point in time.
Indeed, because of course in the episode Stormfront we actually help him bury the Tox Utat, which may or may not have happened yet, depending on how you're playing these missions. Also, I note that the speech differs from the text of the mission, and that the lip syncing really does need some work. It may just be the teeth structure that they've got, it may just be the fact that Daniels is not quite himself at this point, but yeah, that did not look right. Still, it's nice to actually see lip syncing instead of static images on the comm screens. So let's go get into transporter range. Vorgons aren't feeling too neighbourly after all. Just squirt forwards. And then we can beam Daniels down. Yay, off you go, mate. And the Vorgons promptly go hostile. Can anyone say they're surprised by this? No, not really.
The Vorgons have cornered Cal Dano. Engaging them now.
Yeah, we've got our own problems up here, Daniels. You have your fun down there. We're just going to introduce ourselves. Fire everything. Vorgon, by the way, they have what are little tractor probes that are mildly annoying, it has to be said. However, they don't last, and they do occasionally turn into mines, which is even more annoying. So we'll just get rid of them, tractor repulsors out, and then give the battleship a good shove as well. So, we dealt with the Vorgons, the harasser probes can just mop up, and the other Vorgons have legged it. Vorgon weapon, by the way, also has a nasty tendency to just fire through your shields, which can make things rather awkward. Anyhow, patch up the hull, and...
Commander of the VSV Arborel. You are interfering with the private matter that does not concern you. Identify yourself.
It became my concern when you fired on my ship. Now, if you wish to push the point, I've got bigger guns.
My name is Azure. Baratus and I pursue a researcher named Cal Dano, and have been for some time. He has created a weapon of mass destruction. A very valuable weapon. The Tox Uthat and its maker will be ours. Our reinforcements are en route. You should not have interfered.
I'd like to say this could have been avoided, but it probably really couldn't, and ye gods, that lip movement.
Cal Dano's safe. For now. We're ready to beam up.
Okay, up you come. And, oh looky, we've got friends. Fine, evasive manoeuvres. Feed them the photonic fleet to keep them busy. And once we're clear of the tractor probes, half speed, loop round, power up fire at will. Believe me, that was not something that I was especially worried about. They're trying to kill me. Right, so that's 1, 2, and... oh, right, we're a little close to that one that's about to go pop. There we go. 3. Daniel, so where are we? Anyone else?
Cal Dano must fulfill his personal destiny. I've given him my time ship to do so. Please clear it for launch. Trust me on this. I can always get another ship.
Okay, fair enough. I won't ask how obliging your insurance policies are. However, Shuttle Bay 1 timeship is cleared for immediate launch. And, well, let's see what happens. Launch the timeship. So we get a little cutscene. The timeship materializes out of our shuttle bay.
More Vorgons. We need to cover Cal's escape.
Oops. Well, I suppose when you've got time drives, you can always arrive just at the right moment.
Almost there.
Yeah. Fair enough, I can do that. Single target mode engaged, high yield, AP Omega. They love their Chronoton torpedoes. Alright, emergency shielding, evasive moves again to break us array, and then area effects are back, so loop round. And this should finish that cruiser off quite nicely. Pop. And there he goes. Yay! Now then. The Vorgons probably aren't too happy with us right now. Still, the number of reinforcements we just wrecked, you think maybe they'll choose the path of discretion and back down?
It's a temporary setback. Your interference will not keep us from Cal Dano or the Tox Uthat. History can be changed, as you will see.
Yes. We know what's going to happen to the Tox Uthat. It's already happened. Well, maybe. More whiskey. More whiskey.
The Arborel just engaged a temporal drive. They're gone. The Vorgons know a lot about the Tox Uthat and its history. They'll want to reach a pivotal point in its timeline.
Okay, so...
I have them. Reading a new temporal ripple in the year 2152. Unfortunately, I can't ask Captain Archer to get involved in this one. So if you don't mind, temporal course laid in. Ready when you are.
Interestingly, Daniels goes straight into his second...
I have them. Reading a new temporal ripple in the year 2152. Unfortunately, I can't ask Captain Archer to get involved in this one, so if you don't mind. Temporal course laid in. Ready when you are.
He can't ask Captain Archer to get in, by the way, because Captain Archer's already in on this one. By accident. Engage. They need to sort out the voice samples in that little dialogue tree, but off we go to the past. This is why you don't attempt time travel sober, by the way. Well, welcome to 2152 and NGC 162. Specifically, we're on the events here of the Enterprise episode Future Tense. The Tholians and the Sullivans are currently scrapping over the timeship, which is inside Enterprise's shuttle bay right now. Cal Dano's corpse, which has apparently been dead for several hundred years, has been moved into Enterprise's sickbay, and somewhere in between the two, we had the episode Stormbound. So while we've had all of 30 seconds, relative for us, Cal Dano has had, well, his corpse has had several centuries. I'm not sure how long he got. And the Toxu Tut is buried on Risa, or will be 300 years from now, and I'm not nearly drunk enough for this episode. One Vorgon's signature detected, it's the Arborel. They're trying to find their prize, and they're dispersing temporal particles to match their signature. Terrific. Keep us off their senses if you can. And now we're warping into the past? Okay, I think that cutscene should really have been just before we arrived, not after. So, one Dakir that's lost its fight, one NX-01 class, except that actually, if you look at the name, it's the NX-03 Challenger when it should be the NX-01 Enterprise. Remember, this is the events of Future Tense, so that needs to be patched up as well.
What's left of it is currently on Enterprise, along with the body of Cal Dano.
Officially, it's Enterprise. It's absolutely positively not Challenger, despite what it says on the registry plates.
The Vorgons don't know this, however. We can't let them endanger Enterprise or her crew. Also, we should stay out of Enterprise's sensor range. They haven't detected us yet, but let's not tempt fate.
Agreed. Now let's approach the Arborel. Before we do this, however, one interesting little bug I hit on my first playthrough. Since I have the option to stop moving when you're in a cutscene disabled, I actually drifted over to the Arborel while we were setting up this dialogue. So I was inside this encounter radius when it first popped, which actually meant I had to fly out and then fly back in. However, let's just toddle on in. That's just a consequence of having the option to not stop dead during dialogue.
History shows you have a habit of meddling in the affairs of others.
Yes, I know. It's a very bad habit. I really must learn to kick it. No.
We believe it is time to break you of that habit.
I don't think so. Let's go. The Arborel's back in for the fight, so let's kick them about again. After all, they've had minus 900 years to fix their damage. I give up trying to keep track. Arm everything. And you know how this goes, boys and girls. Tractor repulsors out, just get rid of those probes. And then hammer down their starboard shields. And then you can have some torpedoes as well. Are you having fun yet? Nope. Have a sensor scan, and then we'll... There we are, now you're having funsies. So the Arborel's disabled again, and the harasser probes have given up and toddled off. No doubt to find a happy, safe existence of their own. So, confirmed tactical report, the Arborel is disabled, and they've got reinforcements coming. It doesn't really matter, they can send a distress call once they're done. Or they could send it last week, or next week, or, hi guys! Right, fire everything. All spread. And then evasives. Vorgon frigates really do go pop very quickly. Loop back and we'll hit this first frigate and collapse it down. Like so. And then number 2. The harasser probes attached to the ship give up the moment they're disabled, and we're good. So that's the Tholians nicking the time ship from Enterprise, because we immediately steal it back at the end of Stormfront, which is why it disappears. Remember, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, and now the Tholians are very unhappy to see us. We are temporal anomalies, we do not belong, and we apparently are on their hit list. Okay. We'll do none of those things.
Tholian Captain, we are not aligned with these interlopers. In fact, we would be happy to ally with you against them.
Well, that's a sociable move, isn't it? Right, continue. Unfortunately, the Tholians, being a bunch of rabid xenophobes, they're all anomalous and will all be purged. Red alert, shields up, break out, and then the Tholians and the Vorgons start shooting at each other. The Vorgons call in more reinforcements, and we'll just bash on this mesh weaver while we're all having some fun. And there's lots and lots of pretty blue Tetrions flying about. Oop. One mesh, but he's on the wrong side of it, so we'll just finish him off. I said we'll just finish him up. There we go. And then we'll hit this Vorgon frigate at the same time. 4 guns engaged. There we are, that's another sucker dead, and then it's easy enough to just hammer you down. 2 good broadsides, drop the next frigate. The Tholians didn't last very long, which is perhaps not a surprise. Come on, fall over, thank you. And then, oh looky, it's the Arborel again. Break away. Come on, we all know how this one goes. Maybe it'll stick if we kill them for the 3rd time. Weapons armed. And we'll just AP Omega and fire everything. Shut down their probes as usual. Strafe and run in to collapse the shields. And that's that. Break away. Rotate round and realise that I probably should have held off AP Omega to counter their tractor beams. Oh well, not to worry. Tractor beams don't last very long. Loop around, and surgical strikes is just about coming back. Use energy weapons to partially counter the slowdown in firing rate. And then the Arborel goes down like a sucker for the 3rd time.
They're escaping!
You don't say. Where did they go this time? When did they go this time?
There's a Vulcan rescue team on its way to aid the Dakir. We should leave before they arrive and ask questions we're not prepared to answer.
Like, who are you, what are you doing here, and can we have the plans to your ship, please?
Scanning for the Vorgons now. Ah, of course. They're heading to Risa. You may recall burying the Toxutot there with Cal.
Yeah,
Captain
so...
Picard realized the scientific value of the Toxutot and hid it from the Vorgons. But I suspect they'll figure that out. In fact, it appears they have. I'm reading a new disturbance, Sol System 2375. Course locked in. Are you ready for transit?
Well, I'd like to finish the conversation first, Daniels, because you've jumped on through your sound samples again. However, of course, at the end of the episode, what was it, Captain's Holiday? Picard calls Transporter Code 14 and we see the Toxutot explode. However...
about that. Truth is, Captain Picard realized the scientific value of the Toxutot and faked its destruction to fool the Vorgons. It worked. Until now. I'm reading a new disturbance. Sol System 2375. They know where it is. Course locked in. Are you ready for transit?
Yeah, I'm not sure why we needed to actually have the Toxutot survive being blown up in Next Gen, but apparently so. And, of course, make it so. Of course, what happened in the Sol System in 2375? Well, there's only one event that would give you enough cover to break into an ultra-secure facility and raid the place for a highly valuable artifact. Yeah, 52617.86, the Breen attack on Earth during the Dominion War. Yep, why Earth and why now? Because Earth is where it is, and when? Well, like I say, when else is Earth's defense grid going to be this distracted?
Toxutot is here, in a high-security vault under Starfleet command. I assume the Vorgons are taking advantage of the chaos and the heavy damage to infiltrate the security facility and steal the Toxutot.
Yeah, it's a pity Captain Picard's ruse didn't last, but...
It held up for quite some time. I suspect our Vorgon friends are getting some help. History shows them giving up the hunt after their failure in Risa.
Well, yes, I mean, we all thought it had exploded, didn't we? Anyhow, they're here now, we've got work to do, and unfortunately the Breen have decided to get involved first. So, let's head on in. This is why you have that dielectric shield, of course. Now, of course, the Breen love themselves some subnucleonic beams, so we're going to have to be a little careful with the weapon attacks. Can't blow them straight away. Rotate away. As soon as we get the forward guns back on this shell gret, we'll just power up and hit them. And tractor repulsors as well. Just kicking the cow from the retrograde. Or at least an odd version of it. More like the safety dance, really, when you're using it like that. So that's the first wave gone. Wave 2 is a bunch of Pleshbreek frigates. Obviously we've got the background action going on between Starfleet and the Breen. Interestingly, a number of the ships that we can see here, that's a command cruiser, for example, and we've got a long-range star cruiser in the background over there, won't canonically be designed for another 30 or 40 years. Cryptic perhaps need to look at the ships they're using as background environment here and restrict themselves to Galaxies, Excelsiors, Defiance, and like ships that were actually in service during the period. It's a little thing, and you'd have to be paying insane amounts of attention. But what else is Cryptic and Tribble for, if not for paying insane amounts of attention to fine detail? Anyhow, just knock down this frigate. We should get him on this run. There we go. And finally, you. Come here. And once this guy goes down, we should be on to the third wave. So, loop around. Yoink. And then forward guns again. Boom. Number 3 comes in, and it looks like it's another Shellgret cruiser. Yeah, I mean, that silhouette there is very distinctly a command cruiser, and those won't be built until, well, basically 2409, 2410, give or take. So, now we know why Starfleet won the Dominion War. They were cheating! Slightly. I mean, there was that one commander out on DS9, but I hear it was considered a rogue operation. Okay. Pretty much fried him on that first pass. Sub-nukes too little too late. We'll just kick down, forward guns hit him again. Torpedo finishes him off. And now the Breen flagship comes in. You'd think Starfleet would notice that we were frying the Breen carriers, but hey, never mind. As Daniels points out, there's so much chaos going on in Earth at this point that really, it's very hard to know what's going on. Speaking of what's going on, tractor repulsors, give the flagship a shove, and then lock on surgical strikes and power to energy weapons. Fire away. Come on, down you go. And die. Thank you. And also just brace for impact. I think the immunity will save us. Actually, no, we're out of range, so all's well that ends well.
Let's take advantage of this lull in the battle to beam down, while we still can. Are you ready to beam down to Starfleet HQ?
Oh, yep, let's go. Right, so Starfleet headquarters circa 2375, the Breen invasion is in full swing, and there are Breens scattered throughout the facility. Oh, great. Right, shotguns out, ladies and gentlemen. Also note the uniforms, these are... Yeah, these are Odyssey uniforms, so they're the wrong period. They should be wearing late DS9 and next-gen film uniforms on these bodies. Again, these uniforms, and in particular the hollow elements, won't be invented for another, what, again, 30, 40 years. And you can't wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey your way out of that one. Right. And, of course, the Breen love their cryo grenades, so we'll just duck out the way and introduce them to the joys of the photon grenade. Like so. Wait. Little frosty in there, Daniels? Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. So, if you excuse me, we're just going to pop triage. And then we're going to start shooting at Ukched soldiers again. Come on, down you go. Thank you. That's 1. And 2. Right, we appear to be more or less clear. Oh, no, there's one guy left. Excuse me. I'm sure you're a man of science and peace, but if you don't mind, I need you to fall over. Thank you. Right. So, advance to the research areas. Also, there's some news terminals you can check. If you pick up most of these, you'll get an accolade, Newsy. However, it does give you background to the invasion and the assault on Earth. Again, we've got some incorrect uniforms here. I'm assuming it'll get fixed in another pass. Again, Odyssey duty uniforms and regular Odyssey shipboard uniforms. Right, moving on. Through the door. We'll take a left here. And we'll meet one friendly, happy, and very not dead Federation researcher up here, Roberta Nunez.
We should probably ask that researcher what he knows.
Now, he is in the correct uniform, which is an interesting point.
Oh, thank God you're not breathing. This is a nightmare. I think they're heading to the vault. What's left of my research team grabbed phasers from a security station and decided to hold the line. Against Breen soldiers. Complete, utter insanity. Please, help them.
Watch what you're saying about Starfleet scientists, mate. We'll dab hands with a shotgun when we need to, and he promptly runs off. Sensible man, arguably. Anyhow, the Breen are in here, and oh looky, they're not paying us any attention. Hi guys! Flank attack, flank attack. In the back, best way.
Thanks for the assist. Anything I can help you with?
Well, when this guy deigns to fall over... Oh, no, he is apparently condemned to spend eternity in a temporal anomaly forever... Okay, maybe he isn't. Right. Hello, you. Right, again, these guys are in their proper uniforms, and weapons... Yeah, you can more or less call those period appropriate, can't you? Hi there.
Thanks for the help. The Breen thought Starfleet scientists couldn't fight. As you can see, they were greatly mistaken.
Indeed, well done. Have you seen any Vorgons down here?
Funny you should mention that. We have. One of my team picked up 2 Vorgon life signs in the vault on local sensors, just before the Breen came to call. I notified security, for all the good that did. Let me buzz you in. Main access is over here.
That's very trusting of you, considering I'm wearing a uniform that looks nothing like anything that's in general issue. Also, you can get away with 25th century LCARS panels. They look close enough. Let's check this news report. Federation fleet is advancing, casualties high on both sides, and Starfleet Academy is preparing to be overrun. Well, they did temporarily. Now, can we get this door open? Nope, it's very blocked. Right, can we fix the door?
Damn.
No.
This thing's a total loss. I can open up secondary access for you, but you should know, the Breen made it in there. Could be rough going.
Never mind. We're quite used to handling Breen. Let's head over. Also, invisible walls here, maybe? Not sure. Anyhow, doors open. Thank you so much. Let's go say hi to the Breen. Now, the first time I came through here, there was a little bit of an issue where all my team choke pointed up and got themselves killed in short order. So we're going to have them all stand back here. And then we're going to pull out the TR-116 and in the back of the head. There we are. He falls down. Try not grenade out. Clear the area. Triage out. And then, yeah, this is what happened last time. The Breen will bunch up in the door. And we can pull in some buddies. Also, you can have some radiation. It's good for you, so I'm told. Because there's a Breen captain in there, and if he gets your team bunched up, it gets very messy very quickly. Excuse me a second. There we go. Just patched everything up. And he falls over, and we can just knock out the sentry as well. So that's how you beat that without too much difficulty. Also, looty, looty, looty. Personal shield. And Tulabe as well. If this was live, they'd be good for credits, but we're not on live, so just clear the waypoints. You guys coming? Perfect. So, bypass vault door security. Again, more dead bodies. Again, wrong uniforms for the period. Just take a quick look around here. And it's a vault. I'm assuming the lockbox hasn't been invented yet, by the way. Grab another news report. USS Cairo and the USS Enterprise coming in. The Breen battle line is breaking down. So that's what the Enterprise was doing. Oh, fair enough. Access the security, and it's this old puzzle again. Yay! Right, we got there in the end. So that's the door open, and we're now into the vault. Guaranteed safe for all your post-apocalyptic needs, twisted scientific experiments, and yes, storage of highly valuable artifacts. And oh, look who we've got.
I have brought you this far.
Wait, we've got cloned engineers?
No, Envoy. Your war with the Federation doesn't concern us.
Only the Tox Uthot matters. Nothing else. We are not alone in that pursuit, as you can see.
These must be the meddlers you spoke of, Boratus. Kill them quickly.
Well, that's not very friendly. And he beams out on us. Right, well, looks like it's fight time. Let's see if we can start up with a good old-fashioned bullet to the head. Looks like they're pretty much even, so yoink, focus fire, and start the shooting. Also call in the Horter, the radiation, the burny, ow, ow, ow. And there's a lot of issues here with jamming and ability interference. We said that I suddenly can't actually use any of my abilities. I'm basically stun locked, which is kind of nice. Get off! Right, break away for a second. Okay, and switch back into shooter mode. Oh, hi. Yeah, these guys are just a little bit of a tough fight. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to call in the Healy stick. There we go, not that it actually stuns them. And then we're going to shoot her again, and we'll just use Daniels as a distraction, because, hey, he keeps healing. Io goes down, and then we can pick Les up. Sorry, Talers up. Not sure where his clone got to, but that'll do. Med tricorder to heal him. And now we're swatching rounds with Boratus. So, into the cover shield. Oh, get out. There comes the grenade. And, okay. Yoink. Duck again. He's very fond of his grenades, isn't he? Right. Call in some more temporal duplicates. And duck into cover again to let everything patch back up. Right, so, ooh, no, more burny. This is actually quite a decently challenging little ground fight. Clear that if I can. There we are, duck into cover, just patch up Les. No, you don't. Out the way. Miss me! Haha! Didn't miss Les, however, so jam medical tricorder onto him, patch myself up, and triage as well. In fact, we'll nanite monitor into the bargain. Pick up some radiation, that's a little bit awkward. But I think we can tank it until he just goes down. Thank you!
We were so close.
Dogpile him, bundle him, get into the ground, don't let him transport out. Like that.
Envoy, show yourself.
Having trouble, are we? You see now the depths our foes will go to, Boratus.
And then we abruptly lose the voice work. So, he's a lit...
I will follow your lead, Envoy. For vengeance.
Vengeance indeed. Whoops, and now he's abruptly changed hairstyles. Oops, more wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey. Daniels, you really need to start leveling with me, you know? It'd be a lot easier.
I'll be fine. We need to focus. Find the toxic top.
Not really acceptable, mate. We kinda need to know how and why this is getting you done in.
I'm afraid that's need-to-know information. And right now, you don't need to know. I'm sorry, but there are things bigger than this to worry about.
Right, so are we thinking temporal psychosis? The fact that he and the envoy might well be the same person? Or at least different versions of each other? Never mind, we'll find out eventually. Right, use the terminal. We need to find... We have actually got a option here. Science. Search for Toxel Tut. Apparently you need to have a multiple science degrees from Starfleet Academy in order to use Federation Google. What can I say? Check the news. Reports of a major strike. The Marine battle line is breaking down. Right, so search for artifacts. So what do we got? Following crates match your parameters. And now we get several possible matches. If you have science, by the way, it allows you to just immediately pick the right one. But let's have a look at some of the others, because after all, having a little rummage around the high security vault in here, wonder what toys we can find. I'm pretty sure that's actually the Toxel Tut over there, but let's try over here first. After all, it's only a 1 in 4 shot that will get the right artifacts straight off. No lockboxes in here again, they haven't been invented yet. Now we'll just take a little left here, check the description. The Fnord. The use of this death has not been proved by Fnord. Of course. Why was I even surprised? Also, we appear to have gotten a mission credit there somehow. Let's check the others. Okay, so somewhere around here. There we are. Let's try this one. Chateau Picard. Curiously, it has the highest security designation. Labar 2346. That was a pretty good year, actually. Let's check the next one. Maybe they just want some leverage on Jean-Luc. I mean, it would be a shame if something happened to the vineyard, wouldn't it? Right. The Toxel Tut. I'm actually going to clear that one. We'll check the other artifact first, because I just want to see what artifact number 3 is before we take the money and open the box. Excuse me. Yoink. Here we are. They all look much the same. So, check description. A Beta 5 computer unit. Recovered 90... Oh, so this is what happened to it. Okay. Retrieved from the personal effects of Gary 7. Probably a good idea if the supervisors never find out we have that. Or whether the sponsors, I can't actually remember. I think Gary 7 was a supervisor, but oh, never mind. We need to get back on mission and grab us one Toxel Tut. Quantum phase inhibitor, etc., etc. Transporter code 14 was in fact a ruse. The galaxy at large believes the Toxel Tut was destroyed. No, they don't. And the Breen are withdrawing. Beam us up. Let's get out of here, out of when, out of time. It's getting complicated, but we managed to leave Earth orbit without being spotted, without being detained, and without any further incident. And that completes the mission. So, Temporal Agent Daniels, we actually get a free ride back to Sol, which is kind of impressive. And Daniels himself...
Well. However, the Envoy keeps gaining allies. First the Nakul, and now the Vorgons. We've been hearing a name in chatter lately. The Temporal Liberation Front. Sounds like our friends are more organized than we thought. Thankfully, we kept them from Cal Dano and the Toxel Tut. I don't like to think about what could have happened otherwise.
Yes, I mean, it's not like anybody would use it to blow up the Nakul star, is it? And besides, the Temporal Liberation Front... Oh, yes, of course, this episode occurs before we meet the Temporal Liberation Front, if you're playing it in sequence as a new player. If you're an established player, of course, we've already met the Temporal Liberation Front at the signing of the Temporal Accords, because, you know, Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Yuzul. That is the end of this episode of the Tribble Timewarp. There are some bits and pieces in Vorgon conclusions that do need tidying up, but overall it's a fairly solid and fun little mission, at least in my book. And if you'll excuse me, I need to go and find some more booze. Until next time, farewell.